The news broke just before dawn in Los Angeles, yet within minutes it was everywhere. Sam Heughan and Brynn Whitfield were officially planning their wedding. What should have been a moment of pure joy quickly spiraled into one of the most polarizing stories Hollywood had seen in years. Paparazzi captured Brynn walking hand in hand with Sam, a simple gold band glimmering on her finger. Her smile was radiant, his protective arm wrapped firmly around her waist. By noon, headlines screamed across every entertainment site, "Heughan to wed Whitfield. The Hollywood love story reaches its climax." Fans rejoiced. Hashtags like #Sam and Brynn wedding and #FinallyForever trended worldwide. Supporters called the pair soulmates, praising their resilience after surviving endless rumors, hospital emergencies, and brutal press attacks. Twitter overflowed with fan-made edits of Brynn in imagined bridal gowns, Sam in a sharp Scottish kilt, standing against a backdrop of castles and misty moors. But beneath the glittering wave of celebration, a darker undercurrent stirred. Anonymous sources whispered to tabloids that the ceremony was set for Scotland, a symbolic return to Sam's roots. Castles were being scouted, private chefs discreetly contacted, and stylists flown in for secret fittings. Some leaks claimed the guest list included Hollywood royalty and British aristocrats. Everything seemed flawless, until one glaring absence surfaced. While colleagues from across the film industry posted congratulations, while fans filled timelines with endless joy, Caitríona Balfe, Sam's longtime co-star and confidant, remained silent. No congratulatory post, no statement, no public acknowledgement of the milestone in her friend's life. For days, speculation brewed. Perhaps she was simply busy. Perhaps she had offered her congratulations privately. But as the days stretched into a week, her silence grew louder than any spoken words. Then came the bombshell. When directly asked by a reporter at a film premiere whether she would attend Sam and Brynn's wedding, Caitríona didn't smile. She didn't deflect with charm as she often did. Instead, she paused, eyes darkening for a fraction of a second before delivering a carefully measured reply. "No, I won't be there. Some things are better left uncelebrated." The words landed like a dagger. Within hours, the clip went viral. Fans replayed it obsessively, analyzing every flicker of her expression, every syllable of her voice. What did she mean? What things was she talking about? Headlines flipped instantly from celebratory to scandalous. Balfe snubs Heughan wedding. Caitríona's refusal sparks questions. On talk shows, commentators debated whether her absence hinted at a personal rift with Sam, jealousy toward Brynn, or, more sinister, a hidden truth she was unwilling to publicly endorse. For Brynn, the refusal cut deep. She had expected whispers, maybe even skepticism, but never imagined Sam's closest on-screen partner would publicly distance herself from their wedding. As paparazzi shouted questions about Caitríona outside her home, Brynn's smile cracked, her hand often trembling as she clutched her phone. "Why won't she come?" one reporter called out. "What does she know?" Brynn kept walking, but tears shimmered in her eyes as she ducked into the safety of her car. What turned shock into frenzy was not just Caitríona's refusal but what followed. An unnamed industry insider leaked to a tabloid that Caitríona had confided in private. "There are things about this wedding, about Brynn, that the public doesn't know. And if they did, they wouldn't be celebrating." The words were never verified, but they didn't need to be. The damage was done. Rumors exploded overnight. Speculation about Brynn's past, about secrets tied to her relationship with Sam, even wild theories about the baby she was carrying. The fairy tale wedding had become the setting for a Hollywood storm, one that threatened to overshadow every dress fitting, every cake tasting, every dream Brynn had of walking down the aisle in peace. As cameras caught Sam leaving a London restaurant late one night, his face grim and lips pressed into a tight line, reporters shouted, "Sam, what about Caitríona's refusal? Is she hiding something about Brynn? Will the wedding still happen?" He didn't answer. Instead, he climbed into his car and drove off into the darkness, leaving the world desperate for answers. the fallout from Caitriona Balfe's shocking refusal spread faster than wildfire. What had begun as whispers quickly became an avalanche of headlines, each more scandalous than the last. While Sam Heughan and Brynn Whitfield should have been basking in the joy of planning their future together, the shadow of Caitriona's words now loomed over every decision they tried to make. Television panels dissected her interview in slow motion. One anchor replayed the moment frame by frame, highlighting the tension in Caitriona's jaw, the narrowed eyes, the chilling pause before she spoke. Fans on social media were divided. Some defended her, claiming she must know something the public didn't. Others condemned her for sabotaging the happiness of her closest friend. For Sam, the noise was deafening. Every step outside his home was met with camera flashes and shouted questions. "Sam, what did Caitríona mean? Is your wedding in danger? Does she know something about Brynn?" Each time, he stayed silent, jaw clenched, eyes hidden behind dark glasses. But silence did little to protect him, or Brynn, from the damage. If Caitriona's silence had been shocking, her outright refusal was devastating. Brynn now found herself at the center of suspicion. Her every move was scrutinized, her past picked apart by tabloids desperate to find the dark secret Caitriona's words had implied. Some magazines suggested financial scandals. Others hinted at strained relationships from Brynn's past. The cruelest speculated about her pregnancy, questioning whether Sam was truly the father of her unborn child. Brynn, usually composed, broke down in private. Paparazzi photos captured her wiping tears in the backseat of a car, Sam's arm protectively around her. To the outside world, those tears became fuel for gossip. To Sam, they were a painful reminder of how fragile joy could be under Hollywood's spotlight. For years, Sam had handled rumors with grace, refusing to let the press dictate his narrative. But Caitriona's refusal cut differently. She wasn't a stranger. She was family. She had stood beside him through premieres, interviews, endless nights of filming. Her refusal wasn't just a headline, it was personal. One evening, as Brynn quietly scrolled through her phone, Sam threw his across the room. "Enough," he roared. His patience, always steady, had finally snapped. "She had no right, not like this, not when she knows what we've been through." Brynn, startled by the explosion, reached for him. "Sam, maybe she has her reasons." But Sam's eyes burned. "Then she should have told me. Not the world. Not like this." Theories multiplied with terrifying speed. Anonymous sources whispered that Caitríona had been heard telling close friends, "The wedding isn't what people think. There are things Brynn hasn't told him." Those words, whether true or twisted, were enough to send tabloids into overdrive. Rumors of hidden deals, broken promises, and betrayals filled columns. Each article, each tweet, added another layer of doubt to a love story that had once seemed untouchable. Brynn, exhausted, whispered to Sam one night, "Do you believe her?" Sam took her trembling hands. "I believe you. That's all that matters." But his eyes betrayed him, haunted, restless, shadowed by questions he dared not speak aloud. Meanwhile, Caitríona remained firm. When approached again by reporters, she doubled down. "I wish them happiness, but I cannot stand behind this wedding." Her tone was icy, final. Yet some who knew her best hinted at a different story, that her refusal wasn't born from malice but from knowledge. One insider told a tabloid, "Caitríona is protecting Sam. She knows something Brynn has kept hidden. Something that could change everything." The statement ignited the fire all over again. Protecting him from what? What secret could be so explosive that Caitríona was willing to risk her friendship, her reputation, and the wrath of fans? As the wedding date crept closer, pressure mounted. Invitations were sent, yet RSVP lists leaked to gossip sites, showing names crossed out, others marked pending. Even close friends were unsure whether to attend, fearful of being caught in a scandal that had yet to fully unfold. Brynn's family, largely quiet until now, released a carefully worded statement. "Brynn deserves to celebrate her love without interference. Rumors are cruel distractions. We stand by her." But the statement did little to calm the storm. If anything, It made people wonder why her family had to intervene at all.